Hello, and thank you for listening to Willow Talk. Adam Peacock, joined by Brad Haddin, Mr. Finalist, and we're recording this as the IPL finals get underway for 2025. So we don't know the result of their qualifier. Are they in the final? They get another chance if they're not. But Hads, exciting time over there, no doubt.
Oh, it is an exciting time. It's been a really good campaign, but this is where we wanted to be from day one. We spoke about wanting to be a different team that's previously been rolled out for Kings, and we wanted to finish in the top two. We've done that. We've had some good performances, but now it gets exciting, Adam. This is what you coach for. These are the moments you want to be involved in tournaments and with teams to see how they respond in finals.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it, Hads, and best of luck. As I've been mentioning on Willow Talk, that it's Punjab's to lose, but you've got some quality opponents in that top four, so we'll wait and see exactly what happens. And speaking of quality opponents, I don't know if you checked out any of the stuff on socials. Probably you haven't had time to listen to the whole podcast, but it's there forever. Did a chat with Steve Harmison for English Willow Talk earlier in the week. Hads, what's your enduring memory of coming up against that big, tall Geordie?
Well, I remember in 2005 when that an amazing Ashes series, Australia versus England, and I think at that time Steve Harmison was ranked number one in the world. And I remember the game at Lord's when he got Ponting and splitting. He was, he had a period of about 3 or 4 years where everything just clicked. He was intimidating, he had height, and he had his good mate Freddie Flintoff at the other end, but he played the game the right way. Steve Harmison, he was a competitor on the field, but he was a genuine bloke off the field. He'd come into the shed and he'd be in the corner with the Aussie quicks having a beer and a catch up after a day's play. So he's a good man.
Yeah, you got to be going good when you can get through Ponting in a big test match and be too quick for Ponting's pull shot. That was a lethal delivery. That was brutal delivery, that one.
Yeah, I want to know whether he was on the pod for his cricket now or that his love of Newcastle soccer.
Both. It was not by chance that he appeared on this particular podcast. And no, he's a great man and a great chat, and he's got a really good perspective on life. He's a grandfather times 3 Hads. So you and I have got a bit of catching up to do, I think. So,
and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing.
Exactly. Now, coming up today, we'll get into a greater bit of depth about the IPL finals, and Shreyas Iyer, Hads, your man up there at Punjab, he's missed out in the Indian selection for the England tour. Is this a great shock? Is he feeling a bit deflated? You have to pick him back up again before these big games for Punjab?
Well, I tell you, we haven't had to pick him up for many. His leadership qualities around the group have been ultra impressive since day one. He's come into camp with a real focus and a drive to make Punjab a great cricket franchise, and that's what he's done. He hasn't wavered in his thought process with that through the whole time. Mate, he's exceptional around our group. He's exceptional off the field, which a lot of people don't see the work he does off the field, not only just with the coaching staff, but to bring the whole team together. And the way he works on the field, he's very prepared, but as I said to you before, what I like about it is his cricket IQ. He thinks on the spot. He reads the game really well. So, yeah, he's been top shelf from day one, and I haven't seen a change in anything since any selections.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you want as coaches, especially when you want to try and do something that the franchise, the club, the team, whatever you want to call it, hasn't done something before, and you're on the cusp of it. So, he's a joy to watch, Shreyas Iyer, and there's better days ahead, no doubt, in all forms of cricket. Now, make sure you follow us on social media, Willow Talk Podcast, Instagram and TikTok. If you want to see our faces, watch the full-length clips, head to Listener Sport on YouTube, and all the best videos from, for instance, the Steve Harmison chat, Alex Carey recently as well. Now, Malcolm got in contact, Hads, and said, love the pod as I'm driving the truck around the Riverina. Shout out to Malcolm, your neck of the woods, Hads.
Yeah. It is. I played a couple of, I think it was the under 12s or 13s, Riverina Rugby League, actually. Adam, years and years ago, when I was living in Gundagai. So, shout out to Malcolm. Hope he's enjoying the pod. I wonder who he follows in Group 9.
Yeah. Maybe you can text back. Give us a toot, Malcolm, as well, while you're driving along there, mate. And keep safe, of course. And Lane messages on Instagram, love the pod, but as a Kiwi and a battling club cricket keeper, I've never been more confused to admit I love listening to three Aussies, but knowing that the Keepers Union trumps nationality is what gets me through. Keep up the shit chat and the golf chat. I look forward to trading Heels some jet planes for some cricket kit. I'm not totally across what he says there, but nice to have the Kiwis on board as well, Hads.
Well, that's the first. We're breaking them down. Our producer's Kiwi now, and then we're finally breaking them down.
All barriers are broken down once we get Brendan McCullum on. That's when we know we've really done it. And so one day we'll get him on. Now, Heels, by the way, is currently up in the north of Australia, Kakadu. She's on a camp with the Australian women's team. She just posted a video with a huge crocodile next to it. No, thanks. Hads, you surely have one story from one of your camps, whether it be state, national, or franchise somewhere?
Well, for New South Wales, we did a camp up in Darwin. We're playing a couple of practice games and things out there. I think Matthew Mott was coach at the time. He's had great success with Heels and the women's team. We had a recovery session, and just before I was doing the media, did the media and walking to jump in the water, and the guy said, "Mate, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, the boys are recovering." And it was a really quiet beach, and the sign had knocked down. They said, "Swim with caution." And had a big picture of the Crocs, and quickly got our players out. The sign just happened to be knocked over. So, we were lucky not to experience the top end with all the Crocs. But, mate, we got the boys out calmly and showed the sign, and, the coach wasn't that popular.
Hotel pool for the rest of those recovery sessions, no doubt.
In the bath.
We're looking forward to some international cricket returning to the top end later in the year, of course, in August. Now, World Test Championship, let's get into it, Had. So it's taking shape. We're no closer to really knowing who's going to be playing, who's not. Cam Green, he's in good nick, but it's close when the great Nathan Lyon, the GOAT, he's posted a photo on social media. Looking back at the pavilion there, you can see the slope. He's having a bowl there at Lord's. It's not far away. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's sort of picked up here in the last couple of days as well. Mate, we just lost Marco Jansen. He's had to go away, and all the South Africans have been pulled out of this tournament to get ready for the World Test Championship. The Aussies, on the other hand, Hazelwood's just arrived again to play a part for RCB, but the conversation has definitely changed for some of the internationals around preparing for that. South Africa had to pull everyone out. We played Mumbai the other night. It was their last game. Rickleton also, he got taken out. So, I'm looking forward to this. I think Australia have got some questions that they need to answer at the top of the order. Cameron Green has come back in outstanding form. And see how South Africa go in a final. Of late, they've started to play better in finals. They still can't find a title. They'll better at the 50-over World Cup. But, this Australian team, you'll have to play some unbelievable cricket and do some things out of the box, I think, to beat them.
Cam Green, third century of the county campaign, Hads, and he's there because of the help of a mystery benefactor for Gloucester, his county. Now, no one knows who this mystery benefactor is, as far as I can tell, but he'd be feeling pretty bloody clever about himself, and he's knocked our Cam Green into shape for the World Test Championship final. So we have to send him a Willow Talk trucker hat if we track he or she down.
Well, it's money well spent. I wonder if he's an Aussie living abroad. He's been outstanding. Cameron Green. It's always a little bit of concern when you have such a long layoff, how guys will respond when they come back. But He's scoring hundreds. More importantly, he's winning games. I like the second innings the other week against Kent where he got the team home and got the job done. So, mate, he's doing everything right. And as I said, the most impressive thing is that he's come back from a long layoff and continue where he left off.
Matt Kuhneman, just a brief mention of him as well. 6 for in his one-off game for Glamorgan, which is pretty good going. And look, it's going to be a weird set of circumstances if he plays in the World Test Championship. But can you see him being a big factor in the Windies, possibly?
Yeah. I can. Yep. And I think that's why he's obviously over there in the World Test Championship for cover for Nathan Lyon. But I can see Kuhneman playing in the West Indies. You'll get similar wickets that you get in the subcontinent over there. And I can see him playing a real role. He done a great job in Sri Lanka partnering Nathan Lyon. He would have got a lot of confidence from that series. And once again, it's interesting when guys like that get a taste for Australia, they play at that level. You like them to go back then and dominate the next level down. And that's what Kuhneman's done. He's gone out, I think, got 9 for the match. And that's what you want to see. And it's also good to have someone bowling in English conditions. Mate, next time we go over to the UK, is Nathan Lyon still there? Then you got Kuhneman where conditions aren't as foreign over there. So, mate, I like that he's going well. He deserves all the success he gets. The bullshit that happened after that Test match with his action. I think that left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. But I like that he's responded the way he has.
Yeah, and go back on the Willow Talk feed a few episodes, but we caught up with Matt Kuhneman once all that was cleared up, and he's pretty relaxed about it all, but he loves his surfing, Matt Kuhneman, so I think that takes his mind off a lot of things. I don't know how much surfing he's doing over there in Glamorgan. Probably not a lot, but he's in good shape for what's ahead the next few months. But, Hads, I don't know, you didn't get hold of, you lost Hoff's number, Josh Hazlewood. You didn't tell him to go straight. Don't worry about stopping off for RCB again. Just keep going, pal, and go over to Lords, because he didn't get the memo. He's playing in the IPL.
Yeah, but that was an interesting one, because as an Aussie, there's a bit of talk that he had a shoulder niggle, and you want to see Hoff playing in the conditions in the UK. So it was good that he's fit to go. It's just that we've got him here in the semi. He was outstanding last time we played him. He came on, I remember, on our home ground here at Chandigarh when the game was sort of in the balance, and, mate, the way he executed his Yorkers, we just couldn't get him away. He's been sorely missed for RCB since he's been away, so he's going to add a totally different dynamic to them. One, his consistency in the power play, but it's more with Hoff where you can bowl him at any time. When you need those big overs, he can come on. He's an experienced campaigner now. So yeah, it's great for the franchise, but it's not so good for us.
No. Oh, well, see what happens. And again, a reminder, say good day to him and hope he fails. Hope he bowls 6 wides or something like that from your perspective. But no, he will not be doing that. That's not Josh Hazlewood. But again, a reminder, we're recording this ahead of the qualifier between RCB and Punjab, so we don't know who's through to the final. We don't know if it's happy Hads or annoyed Hads ahead of the next game for Punjab. There will be a next game. We're not sure what it'll be. But, mate, one guy who looks to be headed to potentially have a defining role in these finals for you guys is Josh Inglis. He looks in superb order at the moment. Why has he adapted so well to the pressurised environment over there as a foreign player with a big reputation?
I don't think there was any doubt of him adapting. Josh was if you look at his skills, all his hundreds have come in against the subcontinent. He got 100 over here in 2020 against India. He got 100 also on Test debut in Sri Lanka. He was one we identified as being able to play spin really well, but he's also got that different element to your game that you need in your team in 2020 cricket, where He can replay the reverse lap shots. He's got power. He's had an interesting tournament because since we've moved into 3, he's had a real bearing on the results of games. And just before the knock the other night, where we could feel it coming, he got some really important 30s for us off 15 balls. I don't know if you remember the last time we played in Dharamshala. He came out of his first, I think, 5 balls, hit 4 or 3 sixes, and just got the momentum back in the game. So, mate, that score was coming, and he said to Punter, he said, mate, I'll win you a game here. I'll turn one of those 30s into a big score, and that's exactly what he did. But, mate, the way he goes about it, I compare him a little bit to Jos Buttler. Is the impact he can have with the bat here, because he does have those. It's hard to bowl to because you can't shut one part of the ground off, because if you bring your third man or fine leg up, he's just as happy to ramp it or reverse lap it and move the field there. So you got to be really clear on your plan, because he does play that 360 game.
And your young openers as well, Hads, Singh and Iyer. I don't know where they're going to end up as cricketers, but I mean, what is the like? Oh, we've talked about them a bit on this podcast, but are you getting more and more intel about the possibilities for these two?
Mate, Iyer reminds me a bit of a Seawag. And someone, such a young kid that's coming into his first IPL, the one thing that impressed me most about it is his appetite for the big moment. He doesn't get flustered. Like, we played Trent Boult and Mitchell Starc. Both times, the first ball, he hit flying over cover. A couple of times hit the first ball he faced for 6, but he's been able to put the best bowlers in the comp off his length. It's a bit like Seawag used to play. It's the way, when I'd imagine you come in to bowl with someone like that, if you just miss your length, you know it's going to go. So he puts pressure back on. And Prab has been around this franchise for a long time. Mate, he's a wonderful kid. But he's found some consistency in his training habits, and now that's coming across into the game. And I think that's the one thing that's been really impressive about him. He's understanding now the momentum of 2020 cricket and how to use his skills in different times. And we're seeing a really consistent pairing. And, mate, they complement each other. They train hard. They're quiet around the group. They're two guys you want if you're sitting at a bar, Adam, especially you, because they laugh at everyone's jokes.
Yeah, my kind of guy.
Yeah. So, mate, they're good. They're good fun.
Yeah, brilliant. You've been around Ricky Ponting in big occasions. So, Ricky the coach, is there similarities between Ricky the coach around when something big is on the horizon and Ricky the captain, like, around one-day World Cups and big moments?
This is what he's known for, isn't it? He doesn't change, Ricky, because the way we've played, people have said, oh, it's a new Punjab Kids, but this is exactly what Ricky had planned for us at the start. He spoke to us about what sort of team he wanted us to be, what sort of style of players, and how he wanted the guys to approach the game. So we're just now where he said we were going to be with this group at the start. Mate, he's pretty clear on everyone's done their role now. Mate, the skills of the group now are exactly where we wanted to. The preparation phase is over. Their skills are right up the top, and now it's about making sure they're fresh and clear in your head. And Ricky has a unique ability to take the anxiety out of the room and just give the younger guys and all the guys actually confidence just to go out there and play the opposition on skill.
Now, speaking of skill, Rishabh Pant, it was good to see him in the runs finally towards the end there. And I don't know if you would have caught it, the celebration was back. It wasn't the perfect front flip, if you know. He needed his hands, obviously, but this is a guy who, like, nearly...
Yeah,
it was in question whether he's going to walk properly again, let alone do this kind of caper. A success for the surgeon, obviously, out of the back of this. Have you got that in your locker, Hads, or something else special?
Well, it would have been a really different result, and it would have been on bloopers tape. But the one thing with that, mate, it was great to see Rishabh Pant get runs. And might have come off too that there'd been a lot of talk about what role he was going to play, whether he's going to be captain of the test team, but he was named vice captain of the test team. And once that was named, he's come out and he's done that. But what about that is 2020 is a really explosive game. So at the end of any time batting, if you batted for experience a long period of time, mate, you run hard between the wickets, it's 40 degrees out there. I can't believe he tried that. I wouldn't have the energy in my legs to be able to do that. But, mate, he's been a generational player for India in Test match cricket. There's some of the things he's done. You only have to take back to the series that they won in Australia, where he just changes the whole momentum of a game. And he's one where when you go into your planning, you look at him and you think, oh, okay, we've got our plans, but if he has a night out, they're going to go out the window anyway, because he's one of those players that can turn a game, and it's good to see him do that. I still think his best format is Test cricket. I think his biggest influence he has still is in the white ball game. I think he's going to go down, and he's up there now with the best wicketkeeper batter India have ever had.
Wow.
So, yeah, but going back to that celebration, I haven't got that in my legs after an hour and a half batting in 40 degrees heat. But I love it. I love it. Don't you love that sort of stuff? You like the crowd goes nuts, all the players around him love it. But that's what this format's about, entertainment.
Well, it then goes around the world 100 times on social media, and people who weren't quite aware of what was going on, you get drawn into it that way. So you can grab people from all over the place with action like that. I just think of Sonny Gavaskar again, of his call on ABC radio over the summer of Rishabh and the shot he'd want back at the MCG, getting out to Travis Head. And I just wonder if it didn't go well for Rishabh then, if Sonny piped up with his stupid commentary again.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Well, interesting about that, there is actually a commercial over here now with those two endorsing a product where Sonny does something. I've only seen it briefly, and Rishabh Pant's on a panel, and he goes, stupid to Sonny. So I think both of them have got some good mileage out of that.
Beautiful, and a bit of cashola as well. Hey, last one on the IPL. Before I ask you the tip, and you're just going to flat bat it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'll ask it. But Mitch Marsh, I think for the next 5-6 years, he's pretty much guaranteed himself a gig as long as they keep that rule with the impact sub, and he just goes over there and smashes his flashes at everything with his bat, and if it comes off, it comes off, and it did this IPL.
Oh, mate, we've seen it with Mitch Marsh for Australia, haven't we? But his form at the top of the order has been brutal, absolutely brutal, the way he's played it. You had at the start of the tournament where, yes, he'd open, he'd take the fast bowlers on, but it's the way he played the spinners. You couldn't just bring a spinner on to slow him down. He found a real power game there, but I don't know if you've watched much of his batting. And these boundaries are big. But he consistently cleared the fence.
No, it's ridiculous.
What he was doing was absolutely brutal. He had a smile on his face. I bumped into him a couple of times, and he was enjoying his role. He said, mate, this role should be named the Mitch Marsh role. This is absolutely perfect for me. They would have liked him to have him bowling, but mate, he was good to watch. The only place he didn't get run was against us. He got 2 ducks against us.
Okay, and you'll remind him of that as well. Given his last 3 months, I reckon he's going to medically retire himself from being able to bowl. He's just going to come up with a self-diagnosis and say, sorry, guys, I just can't. So just have to use me as a bat, and that's fair enough too. That's fair. Oh, a quick one on Travis Head as well. Good to see him play the way in a way that we hope he does at Lords in the World Test Championship final. Maybe not the run rate, might be asking a bit, but back in the runs there on what must have been an absolute just bitumen of a wicket. What they get, 280 or something like that?
They started the tournament. I think they got 280, and this one they got 270. Clarkson was, mate. He was. Yeah. He said after the game, they said, you hadn't been as consistent as you would have liked in the tournament. What was different to today? He said, I got my mindset back to try and hit every ball for six.
Okay.
And they're one team that you didn't want to come across because it's interesting. As soon as the top four teams got nailed in the finals, I don't know if you noticed, they all lost.
Yeah.
They lost the next couple of games. We broke the trend when we beat Mumbai, but it was one of those tournaments where teams like Sunrisers and that on their day, they play a brand of cricket that makes you nervous. Mate, we played outstanding against them. Mate, we got 240. Game over, put your feet up, and all of a sudden you're shaking their hands in 17th over. But yeah, they're a tough team. Travis Head, mate, he's been doing that now in all three forms, hasn't he? Sometime he's taking the same role as Mitch Marsh. He goes out there and whacks him and puts his feet up. He didn't feel that much of the tournament as well, but yeah, Aussie should be excited about the form he's going to take into the World Test Championship.
So last one on the IPL Hads. So yourselves, Punjab, RCB, they play off. Winner goes straight into the final. Yep. If you're listening to this after it, well, that's what's happened. Gujarat and Mumbai play off in the other one. Winner plays the loser of RCB, Punjab. Yep. Who are you playing in the final, or you don't care as long as you're there?
Oh, man, there's beauty of this game. Who are we playing? Mate, RCB were outstanding the other night. This is going to be, before we worry about who's going in, this is going to be a cracker. I think leading into this, the two form teams have been the Kings and Bangalore. Mate, Virat Kohli, since he's announced his retirement from Test cricket, he makes you nervous. The way he's been playing in the power play, and they've got a team where Virat can just play his way, and their other batters are so destructive. Tim David did his hammy the other night, but we're sort of expecting that he might play as well with this impact player. Someone like Tim David, if he can stand at one end, he's so effective. And it's weird to say this, but you could take him for 3 overs and be happy in the game. If you knew you could get 3 overs of batting out of Tim David, even with a bad hammy, you'd take him because he can influence the results so much with his power. So I'm expecting he might play.
No wonder cricketers want to play T20 cricket. It all comes down to what, 15 minutes work. That works out pro rata at your rates, Hads.
Well, mate, it's part of your recruitment drive. You need to pick. You got to pick players now for certain positions. Tim David doesn't face that many balls in the game, but by word, he's effective. You just have to look at the way he played in the Big Bash, how he used those 2 power surge overs. Mate, he single-handedly gave Hobart Hurricanes a huge point of difference with the way he played there. So they're real role players, and you look at that when you're picking your auction. You've got guys like Virat Kohli in that team, Jacob Bethel, who's gone now, who are class players. But to have power like that and can change a game, mate, that they train like that. I watched Andre Russell train, and someone had a new ball to bowl to him, And he said, no, get rid of that. Get me the older ball. And he just practiced his role to hit the ball out of the ground. He doesn't practice anything with the new ball. He practices for those last 5 overs of the game. So that's the thing with 2020 cricket now. There's a real area to have role players like that.
Yep, and it's working for someone like Dre Russ. Quick break. We've got a little bit of Sundries to get through after this on Willow Talk with Brad Haddin. Hads, let's talk about England, shall we? We're into Sundries right now. So, they took care of Zimbabwe. No real surprise. Steve Harmison was saying how good it was to have Zimbabwe back in the Test arena, even though it was a four-dayer. But innings in 45 and runs for fun for Pope, Duckett, Crawley. But they're bigger testers to come with the India series. But interesting to note as we sit here, you guys are obviously involved in a huge IPL match, but the Harry Brook era starts as white ball captain of England later this evening, Australian time, taking on the West Indies. How do you reckon Harry will go as a captain?
Well, first, when he played the Aussies, when he had the opportunity to captain against Australia last English summer, he did a really good job tactically. And he's got a personality where I don't think he's going to let the game drift. I think he's going to be someone that's going to be really proactive. But he was good against Australia. He read the game well. It's just going to be. He's still not. He's not that overly experienced in this arena yet. He's a world-class player. But how his performance changes. The one thing with captaincy, yes, you set the standards you want, the habits around the group. But the one skill he's still got to perform with is the bat. And that's going to be interesting to see how he handles that added pressure. But his first taste of it, he did a really good job against Australia.
He's on the front page of the Wisden Almanac.
Yeah.
And how modern age is it? I don't know if you've seen it, Has. This is like the modern age. This is the definition of the modern age. He's playing a lap shot. Go back 50 years and imagine if it lobs it. Not that they've always had pictures on the front of that book. It's the Bible for cricket. But you imagine the look on Jeffrey Boycott's face if that landed in his grill in 1975 and went, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, the game has changed, and especially being over here. Like you talk a lot about those sort of shots, guys that can. We've got Prab Simran. He's so hard to bowl to for a spinner because he can actually bat left-handed. And a number of times in the power play, they've tried to shut off the leg side with the 2 out, and he just turns around and switch hits it. And we've got to get past now that the game is that they practice it so much. It's not like they've just, okay, I'm going to switch it. That they practice it. They use it as a tactic to manipulate the field. But just go out and try it. All our listeners, if you're a right-hander, go out and try to switch hit. Man, I can't do it. It's a phenomenal skill to be able to do. But, yeah, to have it on the front of Wisdom has definitely changed.
I can't even do the reverse switch hit, let alone the switch hit. So, hey, that India squad, by the way, and we mentioned before Rishabh Pant, he's the vice captain for that tour. But Shubman Gill. So is there much chatter around cricket circles over there? It's a big circle, by the way, over in India, cricket circles. But about exactly how this guy is going to lead this team. Any doubt?
Oh, there wasn't. From my point of view, reading, I know there's a lot of talk about it, but it always, to me, felt like it was leading to Gill to take on this new era. And he's going to have the same challenges as Harry Brook, whether he can handle all the external pressure and still be able to perform with the bat. He's got to straight into the cauldron straight away with a 5-test series against England, but he's got a new team. The older guys have gone now, so he's got an opportunity to mould this Indian team after a disappointing sum against Australia on the standards he wants to set from, how he wants them to play. So, yeah, he's just got to make sure he's really clear on that. And as I said, the same with Brook, that his number one reason in the team is to get big numbers with the bat.
Just on back to that England white ball series and their team for the West Indies. So Jamie Smith,
good
his
player.
Nickname of very good. He's going to open apparently. Yep. I mean that'll never work. Keepers opening in one day cricket, it'll never catch on. I don't think he's keeping actually. I think Jos Buttler's keeping. But I learned in the last couple of days. I didn't realise this is obviously well known over in England, I dare say. But his nickname's Smudge.
Smudge.
Can we claim copyright on that?
Oh, mate.
Our guy named Smith is...
Mate, 100%. The other thing as well, I'd be very surprised if hasn't got the gloves.
Yeah.
He's the test keeper, whether they want to give him a break. I know myself, I would find it very hard to give up the gloves in one-day cricket if I was a test keeper, because obviously see him as the premier gloveman. So, yeah, I don't know. You've shocked me with that. I thought he would be a lay-down misère to take the gloves.
Yeah, unless I was reading something that I wasn't paying attention to properly, but it was Mike Atherton in the Times. So, hey, if I'm wrong, just totally disregard the last 2 minutes of chat between myself and Bradley. But I'm
good mail.
Sure I read that, but. Well, whatever the case, he's a bloody good cricketer, and he's going to be a huge factor when he gets down here, Smith. So Smudge, do we call him Smudge? No, I don't think so.
No, I can't do it.
Last one, mate, a bit of a legend of Sri Lankan cricket, Angelo Matthews, retiring. He's had a long career, Angelo Matthews. So yeah, great cricketer and a great servant for his country as well. They haven't had those, we've mentioned it in the Sri Lanka series, they haven't had those big stars that kind of were the prototypical Sri Lankan cricketer over the last 20, 30 years, but he was a guy that was always there, it seems.
Yeah, he's a real competitor, and he's last of those real superstars of Sri Lankan cricket that have gone. He came through with the era with Sangha and Jay Wardner. And now, mate, he has seen it all. He's captained, he's been dropped, he's been left out of tours, he's dominated tours, but he always got brought back in big series, Angelo Matthews. He enjoyed playing against Australia. Mate, he'll be sorely missed in that change room for his appetite to score runs on big occasions. So he's had a wonderful career. I think it's nearly spanned close to 20 years. But yeah, he'll be enjoying retirement. He deserves it. Having to deal with some of the politics over that time he's had to deal with, so it'll be a relief to finally get out of it all.
Yeah. Is that what a retirement is for a cricketer? Relief? It sounds like it is.
Well, it can, mate. You're away so much, mate. You would not change it one little bit. The privileged position you are to play for your country and the opportunities you get. But Matthew Haddin said to me when he retired, he said, "You'll know." He said, "One day it'll just hit you." And as a young cricketer, you just think, mate, I can't see that happening. But by word, mate, when that day hits you, you're done. You're drawing the line. You've jumped over the other side. And I remember when it hit me, I could have played 2020, I think, for a couple of years, but I just exhausted all options. I was done and ready to get home and be a dad, actually, to spend some time at home. I think my last years I played, I was away from my bed for 300 days. So, yeah, you're just looking for a bit of normality.
Which I'm sure you are once the IPL finishes, Hads, and I'm sure from your kids the orders are in for what you're going to bring them back, if they even bother these days. I'm not sure if that's the thing, but, mate, enjoy game day. I don't know how you waste the time away, but you'll find something to do, won't you, in the next few hours before your big IPL final? Yeah,
I'll go for a bit of a wander myself. I'll go grab a coffee. With all our planning's done, we'll have a brief chat to the player group before we go. But that's more of just saying, all right, go out there and express yourself. They've done all the planning. They've been really good with that, and now it's just about enjoying what's in front of you, mate. I can't wait.
Oh, one last one. Did you introduce any of your players, the local Indian players, to State of Origin in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, put it on the WhatsApp group, actually. I said, mate,
any takers?
We're down at the bar. New South Wales and Queensland are about to play. I don't think they knew what was being said, but I watched it down there with James Hopes and Xavier Bartlett, so I had some good times.
I bet you did, mate. Hey, good to catch up. Next time I'll see you, you'll be in the studio. And
I hope so.
Bring in your winner's medal.
Oh, I hope you're right, Adam. I hope you're right.
If not, you got someone to blame, me, for putting the Moz on. But Hads, go well, mate, and we'll catch you soon.
Thanks, mate.
That was Willow Talk. We'll be back next week, and we've got a special guest lined up for Willow Talk next week. Brendan Doggett, who is in the touring party for the World Test Championship. He joins us for a great chat. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.